Hey, what's going on, guys? So this video is predominantly for those active duty service members and those veterans who are having a hell of a time trying to understand and figure out what it is that they need to do in order to make a successful transition, in order to make their claims for disability, or in order to, what is it that you need to get to before you actually transition out of the service, so that way you have all the necessary paperwork and everything in order to make a claim. So this video is actually going to cover what it is that you need to know in order to be successful from beginning to end in order to submit a claim and then get your disabilities covered. First and foremost, if you are on active duty service and you are about to transition out of the military, you need unequivocally, no matter what anyone tells you, you need to go to your medical, BAS, whatever you call it. If you're in the Army, Army, Marine Corps, whatever, Air Force, you go to your medical and you demand them to print out your medical record. They will look at you like you have 5 heads. That is okay. Demand that they print it out. It is your right. You're going to get a ream of papers. That's fine. You want every encounter. They are called encounters. Every encounter from the time that you went in and you made a complaint to the doctor, I stubbed my toe, whatever have you, you want every one of them printed out. Vitals, immunizations, radiology, everything printed. If you went to a hospital for radiology, if you had a surgery of any kind, if you've broken a leg, go to the hospital, get those documents printed out, okay? Radiology can put those on CDs. You have everything done before you leave. Now, let's say you have already transitioned and it's been years since you've been out. Well, where do you go? Where do you go to the VA? Anytime you're trying to deal with this and you did not get your medical records printed, it is nuts. No one can tell you where to go. I got the answer for you. I found it literally yesterday when I was trying to help my brother, okay? He was in the same boat. He transitioned out, didn't really give much thought of anything. A couple of problems, a couple of issues started coming up, and he was wondering about this. A lot of vets were telling him, well, you should do this, you should do that, and he started thinking, and he had no idea where to begin. So this video is for those vets and active duty service members who have no idea where to go. I'm going to help you. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, please, by all means, make sure you drop a line down below. Every link that I'm going to go over, I'm going to put in the description, so make sure you click on those and check them out. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please give it a thumbs up. It will help other veterans like yourself, other active duty service members like yourself, see this video and then get their best foot forward as well while they're transitioning or even if they're already out. Okay? Before you leave, you want to register for a DS Logon. You can do this a number of different ways. There's a variety of different sources. DMDC, I'm pretty sure, is the source that hosts the Universal Login. That's what this is. It's the Identity Management Universal Login for pretty much all of the military websites that you'll need access to. So simply go to this myaccess.dmdc.osd.mil. I'll put the link in the description below. Once you get to that website, you're going to go and select I am one of the following current or previous service members and all this stuff. If you're active duty, I know you have a CAT card. I know you're going to be tempted to use it. Don't use it, because guess what you're not going to have when you get out? You're not going to have a CAT card. So you're going to want to use a username and password for this. So click on the bottom, on the second option there, and click continue. Okay, if it's going to work. All right, and then you're going to fill out your stuff accordingly, and then you're going to register. I've already registered, so I'm not actually going to go through the whole process of this. That and the fact that I don't want to show my personal information on YouTube. But you'll fill out this information accordingly, and you'll go through step by step. Once you have your DS Logon, make sure you remember it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Also, after you create your DS Logon, during the process of creating your DS Logon, it's going to ask you to choose a photo. It's like a CAPTCHA, their version of CAPTCHA. You have to remember this photo. It's a royal pain in the butt. You got to remember it. Whatever you need to do to remember it, take a picture of it, print it out, circle it, staple it to your desk. I don't know, but it's a pain in the butt to remember. There's like 30 different pictures that they show, and you got to choose one of them that you chose previously. So anyway, DS Logon, you need that to log into every other website that I'm about to show you. Okay, moving on. This is the gem for those veterans who did not do what I said to do earlier, which is get your medical records. You need to have them printed out, all of them, everything. You go to every medical base that you've been to. Most now, we live in the 21st century, so the databases are all singularly connected. So you don't have to go to every different base that you've ever served at to get your records. You could just go to the one that's at your permanent duty station and just have them printed out for you. But let's say you transition and you didn't do that. How screwed are you? You're not today. You're not today, guys. You're not today. Here's the gem. Tricare. You guys know about Tricare. We use Tricare, okay? We never really thought about this insurance company because we were in the military. We just went to BAS. We just went to whatever battalion, aid station, or whatever medical group that you were a part of, and you just got seen. Nothing of it. But Tricare is the one that gives us that ability. They're the insurance company behind this machine. So I found this gem, and if you go to the TricareOnline.com portal and click log in on the top right-hand portion of the screen, it will bring you to the DS Logon screen, the one I wanted you to create first. So you log in, and here's, again, one of the cajillion photos that I was telling you about. So you need to remember which picture it was that you chose. And for security purposes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the display real quick so that way I can choose my picture and log in. Once I'm logged in, I'll go ahead and turn my display back on. Okay, so now it's going to get, oh wait, I must have screwed up my my password here. Let me fix that real quick. I don't know what the issue here was, but that's fine. Okay, I am logged in. Now, here's the thing, okay? Let me turn that back on for you. At the top of the screen, there's a portion that I scroll down beyond because it does have some PII on there, and I do not want you guys to see that. But this is the step here that you need to do, right? You need to select your affiliation, whatever service that you are in, okay? And then you need to select an MTF, medical treatment facility, all right? One that you had been seen at before or whatever the case is. Now, in the case of my brother, I chose a couple of different MTFs that he may have been seen at, and it really didn't change anything. So if you want to play around with this, you can. Now, if you come from a really small base, it may not even be here. I think I went to let's see. I don't even know if I'm trying to find the itty bitty base that I transitioned from. This is why I had such a nightmare, because I did transition out of the Marine Corps from a very, very small base. It wasn't Pendleton or Lejeune. So in my case, it was, oh, there it is. I'll be darned. All right, so that's what you're going to do there. Choose your MTF. All right. Let's see if I can do that. All right, there's my number there. All right, multiple carrier. I don't know why they care about that, but I'll just choose it. All right, accept the terms there. Click submit. That's fine. All right, now this is it, guys. You're in it. You're in it to win it, guys. So now, granted, you're no longer on active duty military, and I guess you could see your appointments, prescriptions, and stuff like that if you wanted to. But this is really what you're looking for. Right here is your health record. Okay, so you click on that, and then of course you're going to agree to the terms and services and things like that. Whatever, that's fine. Okay, evidently my computer's moving a little slow. Okay, now this is a date range, so don't get concerned when you don't see anything. But guys, I mean, look at this. It's got my immunizations in here, and it's like, oh, well, that's all I got. Well, that's great. Well, summary of the last 15 months. Well, it's pretty remarkable considering I don't even know what that is, and I don't even know why it's been recorded 2019. That's pretty remarkable. So what you can do is you can go to download my data right here. Okay. You can also, if you want to view it, you can go to encounters. This is what I'm talking about. So you have to change the date. All right. I'm just going to go back as, whenever. It's been a while since I've been out, but you scroll all the way back to the beginning because you want to encapsulate your entire career. So you want to go all the way back. Now I know this is tedious, but you're going to have to do it. And whatever. Click on that and then just click on update. And all your encounters should show. Now, take a look at that, folks. Take a look at that. I mean, I got 2 pages of encounters, all right, and I have everything here. I mean, how remarkable is that? That's absolutely remarkable. I mean, you come down in here, right? Finger sprain, left thumb. I mean, look at that. That's everything, right? Insomnia, deviated symptom. See, I mean, I've had sleeping problems for so long I didn't even know that this was in there, right? So these are things that you can claim now in your disability claims when you move forward. I'm going to show you how to do that next. But the step is to get your record first and know what your complaints were in what you're experiencing today in order to make an accurate claim moving forward. That's the key. Now, how do you get all that? Good question. Go to download my data on the left-hand side right here. Go ahead and click I agree to the terms and conditions. Right, here's your dates, right? From there, just click all the categories and click on download PDF. Now, I'm going to caveat this. I do not know if it has everything. I was that service member who had medical print out their entire medical record. Yes, I did do that. They were like, you want us to do what now? So I got a binder that thick. So maybe whenever I have some free time, I'll actually go through and see how accurate this is to compare it to what it is that they actually printed out for me. But regardless, this is a stepping place for you. This is a place for you to start so you know exactly what it is you need to claim. All right, now I'm going to jump out of this. Okay, so you have your records. That's great. The next step for you, okay, while we're getting all of our information together, I have another tidbit, milConnect. Okay, milconnect.dmdc.osd.mil is another place for you to go to get like your OMPF file, basically your service record, your SRB, whatever branch calls it, whatever, your record jacket. You can get all that derogatory, commendatory remarks, Article 15s, page 11s, orders, things like that. You can get from there. All that MEPS documents and stuff that you had when you first signed up, it's all there too. All right, you sign in. Guess what you're going to use to sign in? You guessed it, your DS Logon. That's why it's important to have that. Okay, Now, I'm not going to go into milConnect too much because it's a little bit self-explanatory. Actually, you know what? I will go into milConnect because there's one thing in here that there's a couple of things in here that are pretty cool. Again, I'm going to turn off my screen here real quick so that way, for security purposes, you can't see my beautiful picture. All right, here, let me turn that back on now. All right, so once you get logged in, right, here's a couple of cool little things. If you want to update any of your emergency contacts, any records in DEERS or anything like that, you can do that. You can update my name in DEERS, update a family member in DEERS, all that. Okay, if you want to obtain proof of health coverage, update your work contact info in the GAL, manage health benefits. But here's the thing that I think most veterans would want to know, especially those veterans that reside in states where you can go to school for free and you have a post 9/11 GI Bill that you wish to transfer to a loved one. This is where you will go. You'll go to milConnect, and right here it says transfer my education benefits. Good nugget of information, guys. Okay, you can check out all this other stuff, view my healthcare coverage, manage health benefits, and all that stuff. If you're a service member and you've transitioned already, I'm not sure if this is really all that beneficial. It might show some PII. I don't know. I've never actually clicked on it. Let me just turn off the screen real quick and see what comes back. Okay, so in this case, nothing's been supported, so there's nothing to see underneath that tab. If there's anything worth of value to show you, I will go ahead and, okay, yeah, there's really nothing of value to see underneath that, but the only thing that would be is the transfer of education benefits. Your record indicates you separate from the armed forces. Okay. Oh, so I did forget about that. It's been a while since I've been out of the Marine Corps. So you must transfer your education benefits before you depart from service. Okay, you can't do it after the fact. So that's for the active duty service members. Once you're out, I guess you can't do that. So there's that. All right, moving away from milConnect and getting back to the bread and butter of the whole video, which is your medical record and submitting claims to the VA. Once upon a time, the VA had all of the DBQs available. A DBQ stands for a Disability Benefits Questionnaire. And in that DBQ, there was one for every injury you could think of. A sprained ankle, sprained toe, sprained hand, missing a limb, neurological, endocrine, any illness, disease, or whatever condition, they had a DBQ for it. Turns out they no longer make them publicly available, and that's the little thing down there. So in my time, which wasn't that long ago, I had access to all of these DBQs. So unfortunately, you can't do it the same way I did it. But all's not lost. All's not lost. Now what will happen is the process is very similar. You'll have to go to the VA.gov website, log in, click on sign in here, and then right here is file a claim for compensation. All right. Now, your goal, if you're about to transition from active duty service, and I know I'm being really hesitant because I really want to say Marine Corps, but this video is for all service members, and it's just a habit, so I apologize in advance. But if you're transitioning from service and first of all, you need to get everything documented. Go to medical. I don't care if they call you a bitch. I don't care if, you're, a malingerer or whatever the case is. Forget them. It is your life. If you got an ailment, an illness, a disease, a condition that is bothering you, you need to go to medical. You need to go to medical. You need to go, okay? I can't say it enough. You got to go. If you stubbed your toe, you got to go. If you ripped off a toenail, you got to go, okay? If you get bronchitis, pneumonia, a cough, a sneeze, you go. Okay, there is a reason. There might be an underlying condition that you're experiencing that has been undiagnosed, and if you haven't been treated for it, it's not going to get covered. So you have to go. If you don't go, and then you go 5 years down the road and you try to claim it, it's not going to work. So you need to go to medical and get it documented. Again, you think it might be a common cold or rhinovirus or whatever the case is, that's fine. Praise Jesus that that's all it is, and all they got to do is give you a azithromycin or whatever, and it's gone. Thank God. But if it's an underlying condition or an illness or disease that you're experiencing that's undiagnosed at that time, you could potentially be screwing yourself if you don't actually go. So make sure you go. All right, I'm off my high horse here. If you sign in, you can come down here and file a claim for compensation. Your goal is to get it service connected. Okay, this isn't a video about how you're going to get, 100% out the gate. Okay, this isn't a video telling you, how to cheat the system and how to defraud the government at all. That's not what this video is about. This video is about you understanding your rights as a veteran, understanding what is your right when you transition, and what exactly the process is to get your claim through as smoothly as possible. Okay. Now, your goal is to get it service connected because you sustained the injury, condition, or illness or disease while you are on active duty service. That is your right as a vet. You come here, you file a claim. Now, let's say after you transition and your injury exacerbates, becomes more severe over time. You can always come back to VA.gov and file for a VA disability increase. And now that it is service connected and it has exacerbated over time, you could theoretically get an increase from 0% service connected to 10% or 20 or 30 or 50, depending on the severity of your injury. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go walking through this because every one of these claims is different depending on what ailment, illness, disease that you're going to file for. So the questions beyond this differ from each claim. You can do one application for all of your injuries or conditions. There's a page on there, and it'll just have you list them all out one by one. So the wizard that goes through this is pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. So most folks, okay, now let me tell you this. When you transition from active duty, don't quote me on it, I think it's 6 months. I could be wrong. You look it up, do some research for yourself, but I think it's 6 months. There is a period of time that you are covered under health care, meaning when you transition from active duty, you're on your terminal leave, you're at home, you can go to the VA. You must go to the VA, get registered, sign up, get your medical card, your little VA ID card, and go check in with them, okay? Get checked out, get seen, get established there at your VA center in your local area, your clinic, what have you. Now, that is imperative because if you do have any ailments, conditions, or concerns that are bothering you at that time, you want to make sure you express that to the doctors at the VA and get that ball rolling. And once you start that, you can come to this website, MyHealtheVet.va.gov. They call it MyHealtheVet, and sign in. And then this is the portal that you'll use pretty much from this point moving forward to check on your prescriptions, your appointments. You could talk with your healthcare providers underneath secure messaging, and you can also look at your medical records through the VA. This is separate from the DoD medical records. This is through the VA. Okay. Now, I don't have the website up and ready to go, but it's easy enough to bring up. I have, let me go ahead and, for security purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off real quick and bring up this website. Just bear with me real quick while I pull it up. Here we go. Okay, here is another secret most folks do not know. Title 38 CFR 38, however they word it, 38 CFR Part 4, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Part 4, okay? This is your schedule for rating disabilities. This is the gem of all gems that you need to know, okay? The process from which you go to VA.gov, file a claim, what that does is it initiates protocol through the VA. They work with contractors. There's 3 or 4 of them that they work with, and they will schedule you a compensation and pension review. The compensation and pension review is a process where a doctor will simply ask you a list of questions. They will examine you. If you got an ailment with your shoulder, they look at your different flexions. If you can lift your shoulders up above your head, out in front of you, and all this stuff, they look at your range of motion. And it differs from different ailments and conditions, okay? But the doctors will know exactly what it is that they're doing. The goal for this doctor is to fill out that DBQ I mentioned that the VA no longer has published publicly. They are filling out the DBQ for you. The purpose for that is to submit the DBQ to the adjudicators at the VA. And there's a national repository, and don't quote me on it, but I think President Trump kind of streamlined the process, and now it goes to a national repository, and not one center does it regionally. It all goes into one central repository, and then whatever available adjudicator across the nation pulls it from this repository and works on it, and then it gets pushed back. So the system has changed a little bit, but the end goal is the same. The DBQ goes into the system, this application goes in the system, an adjudicator reviews it. Now, there's a process, and depending on where where you are in the process and things like that, they have to get your medical record. They have to get all of the evidence that supports your claim. They have to do that. That takes time. It could take anywhere between 6 to 18 months, maybe even 2 years before you get anything. Good news is you get back pay from the date that you filed an intent to. It's called an intent to claim or whatever. From that day that you file that, you get back pay to that. Okay, so that's great. I'm going to caveat that with this. If you get out of the military with separations pay, they consider that a form of retirement. The VA disability income is a form of retirement. You cannot double dip. They will make you pay back your separations pay. So if you got out at half separations pay, or if you got full separations pay, and I don't know what the number is, but when I was getting out like 15,000 for half, 30-something thousand for full, or something like that, you will have to pay that back. So if you got that, all that back pay I'm talking about will go back to paying that back. Said that a lot, redundant. Your back pay will go to your separations pay and pay that off. And then you may not get a disability check for 1 or 2 months to pay the remaining balance, depending on how much you got. All right. So if you got full separations pay and it only took 18 months for you to get your claim money, well, then you're only going to pay a portion of that separations pay, and then you may have to go another year without disability check. So just bear that in mind. Don't get frustrated. You heard that from me, okay? It's going to happen. Trust me. If you have separations pay, it's kind of a pain in the butt. If you don't get separations pay and you just simply transition out, you're A-okay. You just got to wait those 18 months or however long it takes for them to make the claim. Back to this, though. This is the schedule rating for disabilities. So you can go through each one of these things. This is subpart A, okay, that just talks about a couple of different things, total disability ratings. That's basically your administrative information up front, and that's fine. You can go through all that. It talks about bilateral factor. So bilateral factor is when basically, like, if you got an injury to your one hand and you also got the injury to your other hand, that's a bilateral factor, okay? If you have injuries to both eyes, that's bilateral factor. So the thing that you probably are most concerned with is how do the adjudicators make a determination on my rating? They use that DBQ. In that DBQ, I mean, it is like verbatim in there. It's black and white. It's almost like a 5-year-old could figure it out if they understood the science, the medical words behind it. But this right here is the scheduled rating, and this particular section is for muscle injuries. Okay, a lot of us sustain muscle injuries while we're in the military. Okay, so if you have a shoulder injury in the Marine Corps, we do a lot of pull-ups and push-ups and things like that. I'm not sure if you can actually see that. Maybe I can blow it up. But a lot of us have a variety of different muscle injuries. So in this case, we have shoulder injuries. Okay, slight, moderately severe, moderate. Now, this is what I'm talking about, the medical terminology, scapula, extrinsic muscles, shoulder girdle, whatever this word is. Okay, you're going to have to Google all that to figure it out. And then depending on your examination with the Compensation and Review Board or one of those contractors like, I don't know, GTC or something, whoever it is, they will examine you and they will make a determination as to whether or not it's slight, moderate, severe. And depending on whatever it is they come up with, if it is your dominant shoulder, you'll receive a 40% rating if it's severe. And if it's your non-dominant, you'll get 30%. So that's how you figure that out, basically. You can go through there. I'll put the link in there for everybody to review for yourself. Okay, one of the probably more common things, especially if you've been in a combat zone, what you want to do is come down here. There's neurological conditions, but then right below that is this mental disorders. Okay, mental disorders are a little bit different in the sense of, like, it's not like a physical condition, so per se, but basically, if you have some form of PTSD or something like that, you're going to come here and see occupational and social impairment with reduced reliability and productivity due to symptoms as flattened effect, circumstantial, circulatory, whatever. You guys can read all this stuff for yourself. But depending on whatever it is, how severe your PTSD is, how crippling it is, or debilitating it is, will dictate what rating you get. So you can come here and you can actually look and see, okay, well, these are my symptoms. This is what I'm experiencing. Oh, well, with some reasonable understanding, you could almost predict what rating you could expect to see. So, if you were experiencing such issues that would warrant a 70% rating, you could come here and read this paragraph, and if it matched up, you would know that that's what you were entitled to. Now, with that being said, there are in your VA claim process, when you file for compensation, there's these things called LAT letters or something. Anyway, it's basically a letter from a loved one, a family member, or whatever. And I'll put this claim in here, or this link in here too. But this is a form, and basically, it's a statement in support of your claim. Okay. There's no reason why you shouldn't have this for every single thing. Okay, at all. Your loved ones, your family, your friends, they know you better than anyone else. They can absolutely, unequivocally fill this out. You can fill out, this is a fillable form here. You type it all in, put their names, right? Do it for them, fill it all out, put all your information in here and all that stuff. Right below, they can handwrite that, right? Boom. I'm pointing to my screen like you can see me. You handwrite right in here exactly what it is that they experience, that they see from you, that they can experience from your behaviors, your ailments, conditions, and things like that, how it affects your daily life, all of that. Here's more space for that. They certify, sign it, and date it. Boom. You put that in there, okay? Yeah, I've seen, John Doe, he strained his right arm, right hand. He struggles every single day with being able to write his name, whatever. You put whatever in there to support your claim, right? Whatever injury, illness, or condition that it is that you're experiencing, there's no reason why any of your loved ones shouldn't have this here. And then when you go to the VA.gov website, you'll be able to upload that as supporting evidence. See, upload evidence to support your claim. It's very easy. Your medical records and things like that you get from Tricare Online, the portal, you can absolutely upload that in support of your claim. Every bit of evidence that you have to support your claim you want to upload, it's called a fully developed claim, and you'll make the adjudicator's job a whole lot easier when they're making their decision if you up front provide all of the necessary information to make the claim. I know it's in our nature. We want to do it. We want to get all that information up front. We want to just give it to them so that way they can make a claim, boom, be done. I understand that. I'm the same way. Don't stress. Don't let that hold you up from filing a claim. If you have all the information available to you, that's great. If you go to the portal, you get the medical records and all that stuff, that's great. Boom. But if you don't have any of that, that's fine too. Submit the claim anyway, because it's incumbent on the VA to pull your record, your medical record, and go through that. It's going to hold the process up, but they're still going to do that, okay? You can help them speed up the process by providing as much evidence as you can, but they still have to do their due diligence and get their medical record, your medical record, and go through that as well. So that's my caveat there. So I think that pretty much covers everything, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put them in the description, or in the comment section below. In the description, I'm going to include all the links to all the websites that I just talked about here. If you have any advice, any feedback, let me know. And please don't forget to hit the like button, because that'll push it through the YouTube algorithm and get that out there to as many veterans and active duty service members as possible, so that way this video can help them as well. And this is my private YouTube video channel, so if you want to subscribe, I just do random videos of things that are on my mind that might help other people. So if you more than welcome to subscribe and see what other kind of wacky stuff I come up with. But thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Let me know if it helped you out. Let me know if it helps a friend out. I just want to give back to the veteran community and the active military members. They deserve so much more. And I don't think the transitions out of the service are, especially from podunk bases, are helpful at all. So God bless you guys. Be safe. Semper Fi.